Hey, it's David Bayer, and I want to thank you so much for being here today. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine recently who was really inspired to take his business to the next level. He wanted to double his business in the next 12 months. And one of the comments he made to me got me thinking. He said, I want to do this, but I don't know how. And I realized at that time that he really didn't understand the principles for winning, for creating whatever it is that he wants in his life, and for being certain about the fact that it's going to happen. So it inspired me to shoot this video today. I wanted to give you 5 distinctions for winning at anything, for creating the business that you've always dreamed of and ensuring its success, for taking a business that you've already built and for taking it to the next level and executing on the vision that you have for it, for doing something completely different like writing a book and having it become a New York Times bestseller, becoming the best in your space or in your industry, whether you're a speaker, a coach, an author, a yoga instructor, a chef, it doesn't matter, but for winning at whatever it is that you do. So here are the 5 distinctions for winning. The first distinction is decision. You have to decide what you're going to do and that you're going to be successful at it. It doesn't really matter what it is. What most people do is they make the mistake of thinking they have to figure out the how first, and they get it backwards, because the moment you make a decision, you enroll the most incredible technology and support that we have available to us to aid you in whatever it is you're looking to accomplish, and that's your brain. So your brain is paying attention to a lot of different things, but the moment you make a decision, it focuses like a laser on your desired outcome. So you start to have ideas, you start to develop a strategy, you start to develop an action plan, but that only comes out of the decision. And like my friend, he was waiting to kind of figure out how he could do it before he fully committed to the fact that it was going to happen. But it's that commitment, it's that decision that starts to change things. We actually can see a change in your brain when you make a decision, and you start to notice all the circumstances, all the coincidences, all the people who have always been there who can aid you in the accomplishment of this thing that you simply didn't notice before. The second distinction is to study the best people in your space. Study the best authors, study the best business people, study the best CEOs who are operating in your industry, and find out what is it that they're doing that's working. Oftentimes when we start to notice other people and their success, the mind will kick in and we start to compare. And then we start to ask really questions that don't serve us well, like, well, could I really do this? They're so far ahead of me. If they're already doing it, why would anybody be interested in the fact that I'm doing it? What you need to do is you need to realize that there's always going to be this part of you that compares, and just allow it to compare. You don't have to buy into it, but you can notice and study what it is that other people are doing that's working. That's one of the things that I've done over the last years. I've looked at what are the most effective ways to get my message out there, and I noticed that people are doing 2 things. The people who are leading my industry are producing a tremendous amount of great content, and they're advertising. They're finding ways to be able to spend more money on advertising. And so I committed to those 2 things this year. I studied what people were doing, and I decided that I would do those things too. But the third distinction is that I'm not just going to do those things, I'm going to do more of those things. So I'm going to study the landscape of what's working in my industry, and I'm going to figure out the 2 or 3 things that the best of the best are doing, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to do it more than anybody else. I'm going to create more videos, I'm going to produce more content, I'm going to spend more money on advertising, and I'm going to find ways to do it, and you can do the same thing. So what's working right now in the area that you want to pursue? What are other people doing that is leading them to success? And what can you do to do more of it? And it's not really about hard work. You'll be doing more work than anyone else, but when you know that something is working, it's exciting, right? When you know that whatever it is that you're doing is going to lead you to winning, to your victory, to your goal, to the vision that you have for yourself, your business, and your life, you don't really have to push yourself to do the work. It becomes more work, but it's not about hard work. Because when we start thinking about hard work, it's not very inspiring to do. But when we know that it's going to work, we can do a lot more of it. The fourth thing is that you need to innovate. You have to say, these things are working and I'm going to do them, and I'm going to do them more than anyone else. I'm going to practice more than anyone else. I'm going to perform more than anyone else. I'm going to speak more than anyone else because I want to develop myself into a world-class speaker or chef or yoga instructor, whatever it is. But you also have to innovate. You have to ask powerful questions about how you can serve your audience better than anybody else. What can I do to get my message out there faster? What can I do to get my message out there in a way that it's more impactful? What can I do to serve my customers in an even greater way so that they become raving fans and so that I can build a recurring base of customers, for example, if you're starting a business? You have to ask powerful questions, and they need to be along the lines of what can you do bigger, faster, better to create more of an impact with your existing audience. The fifth thing is that you have to believe. And it sounds like it's something that makes sense, but we sort of take it for granted. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that if you have this idea to go do something, that you're guaranteed to be successful if you just pursue it, because this idea was given to you. And you have to believe in this process that we're talking about. Because the one thing that you need to hold on to when times get tough, and they will get tough, because things are not going to go the way that you expect them to, even though they're going to go perfectly. Oftentimes you're going to have expectations about the way it should go, and it's going to go differently, and you have to trust, you have to have faith, you have to believe that ultimately you're being guided to your final destination in a way that is more effective than what you originally had in mind. So those are the 5 steps. Make a decision, model the best, do more than anybody else of what works, innovate and ask powerful questions, and believe in yourself, believe in your vision, believe in this process, and ultimately you can win at anything. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'd love to know your thoughts. Feel free to comment below. Come on over to davidbear.com and check out the conversation. We're always having intelligent, interesting, and very powerful conversations about what you can do to claim your power, live your purpose, and love your life. Check out our Facebook page. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I'll speak to you soon.